session. Classification of about the kingdom Animalia, and in the previous one we studied about the classification of living world, in which we studied about the classification of plants as well as in animals. Now we will be studying in detail the characteristics of the kingdom Animalia, classification of animals into invertebrates and vertebrates, differences between invertebrates and vertebrates, classification of invertebrates into 8 major phyla, characteristic feature of each phylum of invertebrates, classification of vertebrates into 5 major classes, and last, characteristic features of each class of vertebrates. So before starting to these topics, let us discuss about the animals. Animals, you know that animals do not have photosynthesis, that's why they are called as heterotrophs. So heterotroph, or you can say heterotrophic mode of nutrition. You know that animals and plants are made up of cells. So the animals can be unicellular as well as multicellular. Okay, made up of one cell or made up of more than 2 cells. They have locomotory organs, or you can say they show motion. Movement, entire body in movement. Next, their growth is limited. Growth is limited का मतलब क्या है? That means that all the animals stop growing after a certain period of time. Next, presence or absence of backbone is also called as notochord. Backbone or notochord is called as the vertebral column. So there are few characteristics of animals which are written on the board, and वर्टिब्रल कॉलम की प्रेजेंस और एब्सेंस के बेसिस पे एनिमल्स को क्लासिफाई किया जाता है. नाउ विल बी स्टडिंग अबाउट द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एनिमल्स into 2 major groups depending upon the presence or absence of backbone. Notochord is the backbone or the vertebral column. Okay, Next, now we are studying about the groups into which the animals are being classified. Major groups of kingdom Animalia. Okay. There are two major groups of this kingdom. For classification, which are first, that is, those animals who possess the notochord or vertebral column are known as vertebrates. So vertebrates क्या हो गए? These are having backbone and internal skeleton. Okay. Harsh, which chapter is not given? This chapter is a classification of animals. Okay. In your book, there are two groups, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 will be having 4 chapters, 4 or 5 chapters, which will be coming in your half yearlies. Okay. So this chapter is coming or not? Okay, update me whenever you get time about your course and chapters. But this chapter will be coming in your syllabus. So let us study. Get back to this. The vertebrates have internal skeleton, or you can say they have the backbone. Also, heart is on the ventral side of the body. There are two sides, or you can say, for example, if any animal is present, like if this any animal is looked from the upward side, downward side, this side, and this one, from the from the ground, away from ground, this view is called as dorsal view. Okay, and towards the ground, this is called as ventral view. Okay, From behind, this view is called as posterior. पर से पीछे, पर से posterior. Front, that is called as anterior. Okay. पर से पीछे, पर से posterior. अ से आगे, अ से anterior. Any animal, when it is looked like from upward direction or away from the ground, it is called as dorsal view. Towards the ground from lower side, that is called as ventral view. From back, it's called the posterior view, and from the front, it is called as the anterior view. Okay, so I told you this thing for defining or clearing this कि vertebrates के पास heart होता है ventral side की body में. Ventral क्या है? This one. Vertebrates में heart इस तरफ पाया जाता है. यहाँ पर पाई गई backbone and heart यहाँ हुआ, या chest cavity कहते हो आप जिसे. Ventral side पे heart पाया जाता है vertebrates में, or those animals who are possessing the backbone. Okay, animals like dog, cat, rabbit, lion, tiger, human, everybody have backbone. So they are called as the vertebrates. Next, those animals which are called as the vertebrates have a tail which is usually present. I am rubbing it. I will be telling you the points now. I am writing this diagram. इसके पॉइंट्स आपको क्या पता चले? They have backbone and internal skeleton. A tail is usually present. Heart is on the ventral side. Next, have two pairs of limbs. Limbs के दो पेयर होते हैं. Limbs का मतलब forelimbs and hind limbs. These are for, like in humans, hands, legs. Other animals use both their limbs, like forelimbs and hind limbs, for movement, like lion, tiger. Okay, vertebrates are the organisms which possess and they usually have tail and the heart is present on the ventral side. And the blood of the vertebrates is red in color. So, the red color of the blood is due to the presence of iron protein is present in the red blood cells. Okay, these are the characteristics for the vertebrates having the backbone and internal skeleton. Yes, vertebrates like dogs, cats, cows, buffaloes, tiger, lion, etc. and humans also. जो जानवर जिनके पास बैकबोन है वो सभी वर्टिब्रेट्स कहलाएंगे. Next category for the classification of animals is of invertebrates. ओके, ये पहला हो गया वर्टिब्रेट्स के लिए. अब सेकेंड आया आपका इनवर्टिब्रेट्स और दोज एनिमल्स विच लैक बैकबोन. Invertebrates are the organisms or animals without the backbone. Most animals we see around us are vertebrates. However, about 97% of all animals on earth are invertebrates. Invertebrates पूरे अर्थ पे 97% पाए जाते हैं टोटल एनिमल्स में, एंड अदर 3% आर वर्टिब्रेट्स. हम जहाँ पर रहते हैं वहाँ आसपास हमें सारे के सारे वर्टिब्रेट्स पाए जाते हैं, दिखते हैं, जैसे कि बैकबोन वाले डॉग्स, काउस, गोट, बफेलो, यही सारे एनिमल्स हैं. लेकिन जो इनवर्टिब्रेट्स हैं उनका नंबर अर्थ के ऊपर लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स में एनिमल्स के तौर पे सबसे ज़्यादा पाया गया. ओके, next few categories for characteristics for invertebrates are they do not have internal skeleton. ओके, वर्टिब्रेट्स के पास है, इनवर्टिब्रेट्स के पास नहीं है. बैकबोन नहीं है. हार्ट इफ प्रेजेंट, अगर किसी में हुआ, हार्ट इफ प्रेजेंट इज लोकेटेड ऑन द डॉर्सल साइड ऑफ द बॉडी. डॉर्सल क्या है? वेंट्रल. क्या? वेंट्रल नीचे की तरफ से, डॉर्सल ऊपर की तरफ से, अवे फ्रॉम द ग्राउंड. Next point for invertebrates, they have 3 or more pairs of limbs, if any. अगर प्रेजेंट हैं लिम्स तो 3 या 3 से ज़्यादा पेयर्स में पाए जाते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, like you must have seen many insects, those who are having more than 3 or 4 pairs of limbs. You must have seen any centipede or millipede or animal which is pairs of limbs. Okay, there are many insects which are having more pairs of limbs. इनवर्टिब्रेट्स की जो नोटोकॉर्ड है या नर्व कॉर्ड है वो सॉलिड है, और वर्टिब्रेट्स की नर्व कॉर्ड हॉलो होती है, खाली होती है. ठीक है, इसके लिए आप पॉइंट्स लिख सकते हो. नर्व कॉर्ड इज सॉलिड and on the ventral side of the body. ओके, वर्टिब्रेट्स में हॉलो होती है नर्व कॉर्ड एंड वो प्रेजेंट होती है डॉर्सल साइड में. मतलब कि जो इनवर्टिब्रेट्स है इसमें जितने पॉइंट्स हैं इसका जस्ट ऑपोजिट होगा वर्टिब्रेट्स में. फाइन. नाउ आई एम मेकिंग a table or chart for complete classification of animals. you'll be explained about each and every phyla or the divisions for classifying the organism that is animal. Animal kingdom is divided into 9 major phyla. Phyla is the group or the rank. आपने क्लासिफिकेशन में टैक्सोनॉमिकल लेवल्स पढ़े थे, स्पीशीज, जीनस, फैमिली, ऑर्डर, क्लास, फाइलम, किंगडम. तो उसमें जो फाइलम है उसका पूरा एक प्लूरल फॉर्म दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फाइला. किंगडम इज major phyla, and the phylums are like phylum number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. आपको एक फॉर्मूला फिर से हम बताते हैं, इसको याद करने में आपको अच्छा लगेगा. पोरिनिडे प्लैटिनिमा एने अर्थो मोलस्क इकाइनो. पहले आप इन 8 के याद करेंगे. दैट इज पोरिनिडे प्लैटिनिमा एने अर्थो मोलस्क इकाइनो. वंस अगेन, पोरिनिडे प्लैटिनिमा एने अर्थो मोलस्क इकाइनो. ये 8 फाइलम्स हैं. फर्स्ट फाइलम दैट इज very simple or the simplest form of organism like animals are present in this one. So पहले सिर्फ नाम जानिए. पॉरी का मतलब पोरीफेरा. ओके, लेट मी राइट इट विद डिफरेंट इंक ताकि आपको याद रहे कि फाइलम्स कितने हैं और क्या नाम है ऑर्डर में. पोरिनिडे प्लैटिनिमा एने अर्थो मोलस्क इकाइनो, ये जो है सबसे पहला पॉरी का होगा पोरीफेरा. नेक्स्ट वन is nide. Nide मतलब निमा, निमेटोडा. एने, एनालिडा. ऑर्थो, ऑर्थ्रो, wait, ऑर्थ्रो, that is ऑर्थ्रोपोडा. mollusk is mollusk. Echino, echino means echinodermata. And the last phylum is of chordata. And all these are vertebrate. ओके, इनवर्टिब्रेट्स का मतलब जिसके पास बैकबोन नहीं है. तो ये जो फाइलम है 1 से लेकर के 8 तक, ये सभी बैकबोन नहीं है इनके पास. एंड दे डू नॉट हैव देयर इंटरनल स्केलेटन. ओके, फाइलम्स 1, 2, 3, 4 से लेकर के 9 तक आपने देखा जो एनिमल किंगडम के डिविजन्स हैं. ओके, phylums which are written here 1 to 8 are coming under the non-chordates or invertebrate, those who are lacking the backbone and the internal skeleton. Next, the chordates. Chordata, जो phylum chordata है, they are known as the vertebrates and have the notochord or the backbone. Fine. एक बार फिर से आप इसको जो एक फॉर्मूला है आपका वो याद करो, दोहराओ मेरे साथ. Porinidae platinema anearthro mollusk echino. Porifera, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusk echino, Echinodermata, and last one is phylum Chordata. Now let us know about them individually. जितने ये फाइलम्स के नाम आपको पता चले बेटा, कैटेगराइजेशन और क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एनिमल्स में कैसे आएगा, आई एम जस्ट मेक. Animal kingdom is divided into two major groups. First is the invertebrates. Okay. Second are the vertebrates. Okay. इनवर्टिब्रेट्स और वर्टिब्रेट्स, इनके सब डिवीजन आप देखिए. हमने फाइलम्स पढ़े एक से लेकर तक. वन फाइलम्स आर notochord absent, that means these are invertebrates. 1 to 8 invertebrates or non-chordates. So इसके characteristics आपने देख लिए. Invertebrates is divided into next 3 levels. That is the cellular level, then tissue level, next the organ and organ system level. The vertebrates are only on the ninth one. Ninth वाला क्या था आपका phylum? That was phylum Chordata. यही है जो vertebrates में आया. अब जो invertebrates के 3 levels आए बेटा, इन तीनों level का मतलब है organization. So starting from the simplest or the cellular level of classification of animal, the first phylum comes in cellular level, that is called as Porifera. Or you can write it like phylum Porifera. नेक्स्ट जो टिश्यू लेवल आया, मतलब अ ग्रुप ऑफ हैविंग सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर एंड सिमिलर फंक्शंस ऑफ सेल। पॉरी के बाद क्या था? निडे, निडेरिया, phylum Nidaria. Then organ and organ system level, it is divided into further two broad categories. The first one having no body cavity. No body cavity का मतलब है उनकी बॉडी के अंदर हॉलो स्पेस नहीं है। नेक्स्ट इज हैविंग बॉडी कैविटी। बॉडी कैविटी इज प्रेजेंट। ओके, organ system which there is no body cavity are called as acoelomates, or I can make it like I'm making these two in a new column, like it is not complete here. इनवर्टिब्रेट्स में ऑर्गन एंड ऑर्गन सिस्टम लेवल जो आया है उसमें डिविजन्स हुए दो। एक जिसमें बॉडी कैविटी नहीं है, एक जिसमें बॉडी कैविटी प्रेजेंट है। जिसमें बॉडी कैविटी नहीं है, दीज आर कॉल्ड एज acoelomates. Acoelomata. And body cavity present, these animals are called as coelomata. Coelo means cavity. Acoelo means no body cavity. Okay, so phylum 1 and phylum 2, that is phylum Porifera and phylum Nidaria, are coming under the cellular level and tissue level respectively. After that, when the organ and organ system level comes, there are two subdivisions on the basis of body cavity presence and absence. Absent body cavity is called as acoelomate. Presence of body cavity called as coelomate. Acoelomates are having two phylums, that is phylum number 3 Porifera, phylum Platyhelminthes. Next 3 and 4, that is phylum Porifera nematoda. Okay, these two phylums are called as acoelomata, or there is no cavity, body cavity present. In coelomates, phylum 5, 6, 7 and 8. These four phylums are there, and phylum 9 is coming under the vertebrata or vertebrates, that is phylum chordata. coelomates के अंदर क्या क्या आया? आपके 4 फाइलम हुए, पोरिनिडे प्लैटिनिमा। अब आया फाइलम पोरिनिडे प्लैटिनिमा एनेलिडा। नेक्स्ट ऑर्थ्रोपोडा। देन एनेअर्थो mollusk, then echino. Okay, all the 8 phylums are coming in invertebrate, and the 9th phylum is coming the vertebrate. Fine. We'll be taking first 3 phylums, that is Porinidae and Platy. ये चार्ट जो है बहुत ब्रीफ में आपको पूरा चैप्टर का एक आइडिया देगा, जिसके अंदर के जो पॉइंट्स हैं ये सिर्फ आप समझिए कि जितने भी एनिमल्स हैं जिसके पास बैकबोन नहीं है, द बैकबोन इज एब्सेंट एंड द ऑर्गेनिज्म इज कॉल्ड एज इनवर्टिब्रेट. So this is the division which is done for those organisms who lack backbone and internal skeleton. The first phylum, that is Porifera. These are the pore bearers. You can call them as sponges. Porifera are the simplest multicellular animals. So first characteristic is simplest multicellular animals. पोर बेयरर्स का मतलब these organisms have air spaces, sponges की तरह. Next characteristic is their body consists of a hollow tube. Next, there is no single mouth but many pores or canals are present in the body wall through which the water enters the body. Okay, these are found in sea water and they have a large number of openings. So you can say large through which water and other molecules enter and leave the body. Okay, water as well as the food and also the oxygen. पानी के अंदर वाटर पानी के अंदर ऑक्सीजन डिजॉल्व फॉर्म में होती है, ये सभी को पता है. ओके, तो जो पानी है वो बॉडी के पोर्स में एंटर होगा, जिसकी वजह से ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई होती है पॉरीफेरेंस को. पॉरीफेरेंस का मतलब द ऑर्गेनिजम्स which come under the phylum Porifera. Next is they do not move from one place to another. They remain at a constant place. So you can write it, they are fixed and do not move from one place to another. इसके एग्जाम्पल्स में आप क्या लिखेंगे? एग्जाम्पल्स जैसे कि बाथ स्पॉन्ज, साइकन, स्पॉन्ज मतलब स्पॉन्जला. The name is very interesting to pronounce as leucosolania. Leucosolania. Cycon, spongella, leucosolania. These are the examples of the simplest multicellular animals coming in the phylum Porifera. It is the first phylum of the invertebrates and there is no mouth present, or you can say there is no single mouth present in their body for the engulfing or taking in food. There are millions or hundreds or pores which are present on their bodies through which the water and food particles enter and go out. Next phylum, that is called Porifera. Porifera is the name of the phylum and this is the classification of animals having no backbone. Okay. As you all know, there is a diversified form of life on this earth. Diversified का मतलब we have variations. Variety of plants and animals are found on this earth, and in that variety, the animals are classified into different major phyla. And we have studied about the names of 9 phylums, in which we are studying about the non-chordates or the invertebrates. This is the first phylum of the animal which are very simple and they have hollow tube body and large number of openings present on them which are fixed and do not move from one place to another. Example, Cycon, Spongella, Leucosolania. Okay. Next phylum is Porifera. उसके अंदर जो उसके ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं उनकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होती हैं. जैसे कि अभी हमने पढ़ा फाइलम पोरीफेरा. पोरीफेरा में आपको पता चला कि पोरस या पोर, फर मीन्स बेयरिंग. That means कि pore bearers or the sponges are there in the Porifera phylum. Next phylum is phylum Nidaria, or this is also called as Coelenterata. Okay, in this phylum these are the sac-like animals. Sac मतलब थैला या bag. Okay, you can compare this with like a hollow gut. Gut मतलब tract. Gut means tract. Like हमारा mouth, hollow gut part. Okay, these are the sac-like animals. Example आपको like the jellyfish. Next is like hydra. ये सब animals हैं. नेक्स्ट इज कोरल्स, इसके अलावा सी एनिमोन. These are the examples of the Coelenterata or Phylumnidaria. इनकी characteristics क्या हैं? Their body has two layers. You can write it, two-layered body wall encloses a single cavity in which the digestion takes place. मतलब कि ये फाइलम उन एनिमल्स के लिए है जिनकी बॉडी बाइलेयर्ड है या टू लेयर्ड है और उसमें सिर्फ एक कैविटी होती है जिसमें सारा डाइजेशन प्रोसेस फंक्शन करता है. And the cavity opens by a mouth at one end only. Okay, there is no another body part or opening for egestion or removal of waste product. Everything is coming from the mouth and going out of the mouth after it is utilized for the formation of energy inside the body. Next, their locomotory organs, they move from one place to another. So there are tentacles. टेंटिकल्स क्या हैं? जैसे हमारे पास मूवमेंट के लिए पैर हैं, निडेरियंस के पास टेंटिकल्स पाए जाते हैं. टेंटिकल्स, देयर आर टेंटिकल्स टू कैच फूड organisms, or you can say the particles. Okay. Tentacles are the finger-like structures or the finger-like projections having stinging cells. Tentacles के पास stinging cells होते हैं जिसको कहते हैं निडोब्लास्ट. क्या कहते हैं? निडोब्लास्ट्स. They are the outgrowths which help in, मतलब समझिए कि जो टेंटिकल्स हैं उसमें छोटे छोटे शार्प्ड टूथ या नेल्स टाइप स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं इस एनिमल के पास जो कि निडेरियंस में आते हैं. दे हेल्प इन एंकरिंग का मतलब है एक जगह पर रुक पाना. ठीक है. Anchoring and capturing of food, or you can say food या उसको कह लो prey. आप जानते हो predator और prey क्या होता है ना? Predator and prey. Predator मतलब शिकारी और prey मतलब शिकार. And the literal meaning of nidarians, literal meaning of nidarian is stinging creature. Okay, stinging creature मतलब they are having their self defense mechanism
for capturing prey and also for anchoring or fixing at particular place.
एग्जाम्पल है जेलीफिश का. यू मस्ट हैव सीन दिस
एनिमल एंड उसका जो बॉडी स्ट्रक्चर है वो पानी के अंदर जब एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मूव करता है तो उसकी पूरी बॉडी में टेंटिकल्स दिखते हैं. वो जो स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं दीज आर कॉल्ड एज टेंटिकल्स एंड दे आर हैविंग नंबर ऑफ स्टिंगिंग सेल्स. These cells are called nidoblast, which help in anchoring and capturing of prey. Fine. And the cnidarians are found in aquatic, mostly in the marine habitat, either stuck to the rocks and or floating in the water. Okay. So today we have taken only 2 phylums. In the next class we will be taking the rest of them because we have no time left. ओके, सो फॉर नाउ आज जितना भी आपने पढ़ा है वो एक बार फिर से रिवाइज करना. इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास विल बी गोइंग फॉर फ्यू मोर फाइलम्स और उसके साथ में आपको ढेर सारे एग्जाम्पल्स भी पता चलेंगे. अगर आपके पास बुक हो तो उसमें पिक्चर्स ज़रूर देखिएगा. सो डोंट फॉरगेट to like and subscribe this channel for continuation of the chapter